Welcome back, my Jedi friends. And today I'm on fire. I'm on fire, folks. On fire. And I realize that this is probably going to be a little bit difficult for some of you to listen to, but I'm going to repeat something that I think is really, really important. So, if you're highly sensitive, if you're a good person, if you're somebody that's a healer, if you are the person in the family that everyone goes to when there's a problem, you're the mediator, you're the voice of reason, you are the calm influence on everyone else. If that's you, it's you that I'm speaking to today. And we're going to talk about something that is probably a little bit alien to a lot of people that fit that mold. And that is anger. Is there a place for anger? Now, if that's you, you're probably quite good at hiding anger and probably telling yourself that it's a good thing to hide anger, that you shouldn't be being angry. There's enough people around you pissing people off without you adding petrol to the flames here, folks. And you're probably quite good at that. And yet you're probably taking stuff on board and going home and not dealing with stuff at its core. And that's what this is really about. So let's look. There's family events which I talk about a lot, but there's a lot of world events at the moment that are happening that are causing the rise, folks. And we've heard that quote, haven't we? That evil happens when good men do nothing, or good women, or good whatever you are, do nothing. And that is the issue that we're going to deal with here. And we're not going to deal with it from a let's do good for the world perspective. This is all about let's do good for yourself. So I've talked about the differentiator here. What is good? When is it good to suppress your emotions and when is it not? So if you've got a job, like I was a nurse, so within that parameter, if you've got a job where people come in angry, people are fired up, then it is good to suppress emotion and to let stuff go. In fact, it's part of the job description. So the reason I start with that is because everything I talk about has an exception. There's an exception to everything, folks. Everything has an exception. Well, most things have an exception. And there's an exception there. So there's a time and a place where it's really good to suppress any issues that you've got with the way people are showing up around you and to be the level head amongst them. The problem is for the average person who is highly sensitive, who is good with people, who is that voice of reason in the friend or family circle, is that it can mount up. You can end up dealing with a lot of bullshit that is unprocessed. And here's the litmus test. If you have a situation happen and then afterwards it starts eating away at you, that's what we're talking about here. This might be somebody shouting at you, somebody being an arsehole, a bit of road rage, somebody coming at you or whatever it is with passive aggression or what stuff. And you, because you're so good at it, you just let it go. Or you think you've let it go, but then you go home that night and it starts eating away at you. Why did I put up with that shit? Why did I deal with that? What is going on here that I need to process? And the thing is, it's so easy to just say, well, I'll be okay, I'll get over it. But there's a cumulative effect here, folks. And what happens is you can go through life and sometimes years, sometimes decades, and you keep letting stuff go, you keep letting stuff go, you keep letting stuff go, and you keep telling yourself that it's for the best. It's for the best. It's for the best. I'll tell you where this leads, folks, and I have plenty of experience of this. At the end of life, when you look back, you'll start reflecting on situations where you did nothing. And you told yourself that that was for the best. It was the good thing, that you let bullshit go. You let things ride. You didn't say what you meant to say in certain situations because you thought you were keeping the peace or doing what it is. That all comes back to bite you. It's like a volcano at the end of life, folks, if you let too much shit go, which is why we're going to talk today about anger. It's the most misunderstood, misjudged emotion by people who are generally highly sensitive, generally people pleasers, generally the peacekeeper within the environment. It's easy to judge anger as the evil cousin that should never come out. You should never invite them to the party. We don't need any anger. We want peace and love. Now, that mindset is the sort of peace and love where when you're in a group situation, everybody's really friendly, and as soon as the doors close, and this is very prevalent in the UK, did you hear what they said to me? Did you listen to that? I can't believe that she said that or he said that to me. And it's a different form of passive aggression, folks. It's a false front. It's a false face. It's you showing up as a false person. And that is the difference here. Now, if you're peace and love and you let stuff go and people are having a go at you, and as soon as the door closes, you're like, oh, I'm still Zen, then it doesn't apply to you. This does not apply to you. But if you're not, if it's eating away, if you're having a go at people behind their back because you're not dealing with stuff square on, then I'm going to tell you that you have misaligned your relationship with anger. Because anger is your friend. It can be your friend. And it is a very productive emotion when you learn how to channel it correctly. Now, what is the correct channeling of anger? What is the correct channeling? Well, the problem is when you let stuff go, you let stuff go, you let stuff go, you let stuff go. There'll always be that final straw where you have a nuclear size explosion. Now, you've probably been on the receiving end of this. You say something that you think is potentially harmless or completely normal in your world, and it's not meant to offend, it's not meant to upset anyone, and somebody has an absolutely nuclear reaction over it, and you don't know what that's all about. That's probably what we're talking about here. It's a bit like pass the parcel. And when good people let stuff go, you pass the parcel. Oh, yeah, we got away with bullshit. We'll do it again. We'll do it again, 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 again. And that could have happened thousands of times in their life. And you show up just one day in the wrong time, the wrong place. You say the wrong thing, which doesn't sound like the wrong thing. And suddenly you are on the receiving end of a tsunami, an emotional tsunami, and you've got no idea where it came from. This is the dynamic we're talking about, folks. When you let stuff go, you let stuff go, you let more stuff go, you let more stuff go. There'll always be a case down the line where somebody gets it. Somebody gets it. And here's the kicker, folks. It's usually the person that least deserves it. It's usually the easy target that gets it because you feel safe enough that you can explode in front of them. And here's the worst part, the arseholes that have probably caused most of the pressure or most of the build up, you're probably still not ready to unleash on them. They're probably getting away with it. And that's what we're talking about today, folks. All this letting stuff go, it's only really let go if you can let it go and it's not causing an issue in your mind beyond the incident itself. So this is what we're talking about now. So if I ask you this question now, are you really peace and love? Or is there incident? Is there people that are pissing you off right now? The odds are that that question straight away, an incident or a person comes straight to the forefront of your mind, my Jedi friends, of your mind. They have possessed your mind. And you think you're being spiritual, you think that you're being doing the right thing, and nobody else even knows that you're pissed off, which is how you know you're doing a good thing. But yet there's that fiery build up within, folks, that you haven't been able to let go. And this is specifically what we're talking about today. This build up is for a reason, and that the way the world's going mad at the moment, the way things are being taken away, the way the cost of living is going up, the way that corruption is upping, the way that things in certain countries are incredibly unfair, or it seems that way at the moment. And there's some sort of mad global agenda, which I'm not going to talk about for fear of being considered a conspiracy theorist, which I've spent a lot of my life and then retrospectively being proved right. But that's not going to be the case today, folks. We're talking about the here and now. We're talking about the rising anger. that you are feeling as a highly sensitive person, as a good person, as the person that most people go to when they have their shit to sort out. And there's part of you that thinks, I'm the one that sorts this shit out. I shouldn't be experiencing. And you start judging yourself. That is one of the worst symptoms at all, folks. Judging yourself. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be thinking that. I should be able to let this go. If you're not letting it go, or you're even thinking that, you need to get in touch with the anger. Now, what is this, folks? So let's see life as building a house. And being nice, you can build your foundation, you build a couple of the walls, but now you need a different skill set to put the windows in. But if you're only used to building the walls and the foundation, and you haven't got the tool to put the windows in, you're going to have a house that is not effective. Now let's look at the skill of putting a window in the house, the skill of understanding anger and how it's used. So that's one of many analogies I could do, but you need different skill sets, you need different tools for different parts of the same building. And this is the same in life, folks. Anger is a different tool. It's a different thing for a different purpose for a different time. And it is there to show you that you're dealing usually with assholes. You're dealing with assholes again. Now, here we are, frequent flyer. And if you let that shit go, you're not only empowering the arsehole to be a bigger arsehole and to go and do it to other people, but you're giving them permission to do it again to you because they got away with it. In the same way that the bully comes in and they bully the easy targets, unless you fight back, unless you push back, it will come back to bite you, folks. Now, I know that this is a message to the people that are regular on this channel. You'll have heard this before from me. But this is so important. And I'm having this conversation with my friends increasingly often at the moment, getting them to get in touch with their anger, to start embracing their anger, to start loving their anger, because your anger is there for a reason. And it is there to encourage you to develop a new skill set within your personality that takes no shit. And what do I want for you, my Jedi friends? I want you to take no shit. I want you to be Luke Skywalker. But if Vader shows up, you need to know how to fight. Otherwise, Vader's going to take you down, folks. And that's what this is about. Or Palpatine. They're going to take you down. It's nice to be nice, folks, but it's also nice to know how to look after yourself, to protect yourself, and to get people to know that you are there and not to be fucked with. And that is the part of the jigsaw that highly sensitive people usually take way too long to learn. It's certainly something that I took way too long to learn. It came out occasionally. I'd have to be pushed quite a lot for it to come out. But then when it did come out, people soon realized. But the thing is, I could have nipped that in the bud so much earlier, as could you. So that is my message for you today, folks, that anger is your friend, especially if you are generally that good person. It's time to embrace anger. Embrace it because it has a message for you. And in case you haven't noticed, folks, the world is getting madder. Things are getting more lunatic. And when good people like yourself sit back and say nothing and do nothing for fear of the ramifications of what other people might think, then you are starting to compromise your soul and you are starting to fall in a trap that is so well covered that you won't even realize it until you've been stood in it for years. And then one day you'll wake up and realize, what a load of horseshit. Why did I deal with that? And it will come at you like a tsunami. So hopefully, my Jedi friends, this will save you the pain down the line, that you'll start to address these things now. You start to deal with the arseholes in your life. You'll start to stand up for yourself. And you'll start taking no more nonsense and calling out bullshit without the fear of any ramifications, because it's you being authentically yourself. And how you relate to yourself outside of other incidents is the most important thing in your world. So if you're not letting things go at the moment, and I'm talking about when no one else is around, if your thoughts are consumed by incidents that happened, or how people are shit or fucking you over in your life, then that is the symptom that you need to do this, and you need to embrace your anger, because anger is your friend. So, my Jedi friend, my angry friends, it's time to embrace the fire. It's time to develop that tool that is the new you. And it's time for you, if you don't already, to follow this channel so that you can get more insights and pieces to the jigsaw to help you along on this traumatic journey and hopefully have a little bit more fun while you're doing it. So if you're not already, folks, subscribe to the channel. If you want more pieces of the jigsaw or another piece, it's just there. So, my Jedi friends, you will go, you will embrace your anger, and you will discover a new you.